and it goes down in L.A. that weekend. So just a couple of weeks away, but all this week you got a handful of chances to win one of those flyaways for you and a pal. So 5:10, I'll have that next keyword. It'll be your last one of the day. You can see Coldplay and 21 Pilots and Kings of Leon and Imagine Dragons and many, many more. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you want to drop us a quick message there, a lot of people did over the break. You can do it there. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan, Caleb, and Kent listening on the podcast. The best stuff for the last couple of weeks. I know the new year, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things on everybody's mind. But I think I can speak for everyone that, God damn it, we need to know where Donnie is. After hearing some of those clips from the past, we need a Donnie update. Looking forward to spending another year with you guys. Hate the show. Bye.
I don't, I did re-air a couple of segments that had Donnie calls in them. But we haven't heard from Donnie in a minute, you know. For a while we were worried about him. I will say I've been less concerned about him over the last year because he seems to be keeping everything on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
But we haven't heard from Donnie in a while.
He's being a good boy.
I hope. Yeah, I mean, he has been being a good boy. And so that's good. For a while, part of the appeal of a Donnie call was it would usually devolve into something bonkers. But the last couple times we talked to him, you know, he sounded like his old self.
Yeah.
Sounded like he's doing all right. So, again, Caleb, I don't know what is up with Donnie. We haven't heard from him in a while. And I hope that doesn't imply something nefarious. Hope he's doing okay. I hope he's so busy that he has forgotten to check in
Maybe
from
he
time
started
to time.
his own business.
Something.
You
Yeah.
know.
You know, for a while he was like banging the deli chick at the Food Lion or something. He was running the produce section, and he got fired for, I don't know, putting it into
a myriad of reasons.
What's that?
A myriad of reasons.
For shaving her ham, am I right?
It involved copious amounts of pimento loaf and I don't know what else. But we haven't heard from him in a while. So as to where he is, I have no clue.
Where in the world is Donnie San Diego?
Don't know, but if we hear from him, so will you. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Mike, what's going on?
Not much. I was there that night when that happened to Bill.
Oh, good for you.
And is he recounting the story? You saw it from front to back, beginning to finish?
Yeah, I was in the valet parking lot waiting for my car, and this guy come flying up 30 miles per hour past us. He had to be 30 miles, and he almost took out a couple people.
That's what I'm saying.
He pulls out and makes that left turn and almost hits those poles.
Yeah.
And he gets out of the car, and I swore it looked like he was ready to pull a gun out of his pocket or back of his pants.
Yeah, because with all this stuff, you know, you got people plowing through parade crowds and things like that. That's probably got to cross your mind pretty quickly.
Right. That's what we all thought, too, but it was just him tangled in his seatbelt. Yeah, he was going faster there, right?
He was going fast to the parking lot. He almost took us out. Me and my buddy were sitting there because we left the game early to get our car. Mm-hmm. And this guy comes flying through the valet parking lot because he couldn't get through the different way because it was coned off, you know, for the people that are getting out of the game.
Right.
And he lived in those apartments right there across the way from those poles.
So why do you have a car?
He was grocery shopping.
Do you know this guy?
No, I was just there and I heard him say, I can't go grocery shopping. And you could just tell he was drunk.
Yeah.
These people were on my way.
I can't go grocery shopping. Where, to Heinen's?
That's
the only one downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he lived in those apartments right there next to those poles, those high-rise, the building right across from the valet.
Yeah, I gotcha. Wow. The old Chris Tyler pen.
Well, then he should know better than trying to do any. I mean, I guess if you're drunk, you don't know better for anything. But that's not the time to go grocery shopping. Is when a Cavs game's letting out.
Cavs game's going on, right.
Also, I would certainly hope, thank you, Mike, for whatever that was. I would also think that if this guy was on his way to go grocery shopping, it probably implies that he's hungry. And so you'd think that he might have enjoyed the popcorn.
I was going to say grab the Snickers, because you're not you when you're hungry. Betty White, remember?
Anybody remember Betty White?
Do you remember? We talked
about
that. We talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
We're bringing it all together.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome.
They're going to air that 100th birthday special, by the way. They've had it in the can. Tribute film called Betty White, 100 Years Young. It's going to be in theaters on January 17th. That would have been her 100th birthday, and they're still going to show it because there's probably no shortage of demand to see it.
Hello, I'm Betty White. I feel so fortunate to have had as great a career as I've had for as long as I have.
We're thrilled to invite you to Betty White's 100th birthday celebration and movie event on January 17th. This film gives you backstage access to Betty's greatest moments. The Golden Girls.
Oh, it takes a big woman to forgive somebody calling her a slut.
The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Now, don't you go away. We'll be right back after this commercial message.
All clear.
All right, who the hell is responsible?
Spend the night with Betty White.
What a great bedroom, Sue Ann.
At your local movie theater.
Come on, what are you waiting for? Go ahead.
Get your tickets now at fathomevents.com.
It's just the magic of Betty White. Not everybody has that.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it, even though she will, because she is now famously dead.
Fancy and I were going to go to that Golden Con when it was going to come. I think it was February.
Yeah, Chicago.
And we were going to go, and I was like, oh man, maybe we should really go now because, he was like, why? The headliner's gone. I'm like, but think of how many people.
Was she going to be there?
Yeah, she was going to appear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was going to appear. She's still turning down gigs. Yeah, she was going to appear there.
Okay.
That was one of
Well, I know we talked about it, but I don't remember that. I don't remember her saying she was going to show up there.
Yeah, so I'm like, now we should really go and thank them for being a friend. Like, we should just go around and, spread cheer because everyone's going to be all depressed because Betty White died.
No, I understand. And so now you're not going to go.
Fancy doesn't want to go.
Doesn't want to go.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
So with Betty White gone, Poundcake has no interest at all in attending Golden Con. And of course, we've mentioned this before, celebrities and civilians alike, everybody, who are you going to find that was as universally loved as Betty White? Even people we think of as being universally loved, there will be somebody.
Alex Trebek.
Who's got to take a piss on him or something on social media.
Alex Trebek.
What about Alex Trebek?
I bet he was as widely liked as Betty White.
You might be right. But he was a goddamn ferner, Mary. I'm talking about homegrown.
I was like a ferner. He was in the plants.
He's a Canadian.
He had ferns.
Even O.J. Simpson felt compelled, boy, with friends like that, felt compelled to pay tribute to Betty White.
Got a call today from one of my kids telling me that the incredibly nice, sweet Betty White had moved on. Now, Betty lived on Carmelita Street, and back then I had a couple of cats, and normally they'd be in my backyard going through a lot of drama with these mockingbirds, but one day we couldn't find him, and we were making signs, putting pictures on them that we're going to hang in the neighborhood when we got a call, and it was Betty White, and she says, OJ, you're looking for your kitten. He's here at the house. So we went over there and she had him in his arms and we talked and she was so sweet. And maybe.
Say what?
I wonder if this was after the murders. She's like, oh, Jay, I know you didn't do it.
But I just love that, a lot of celebrities might have, because they're famous, they just have to put something out and they go, oh, Betty was so sweet. He has an actual personal anecdote because Betty White was his neighbor.
That's crazy.
3 weeks later or so, Betty White calls and say, hey, Buzzy's here again. And so we go over and I'm saying, what is it, Betty? Do you have catnip on your property? Why is this cat always coming over here? She says, well, I'm so sweet. Cats like me. I guess she was right. In any event, my condolences to her family. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I hate that guy because it's a nice story and it makes you want to be like, oh, what a genuine statement from OJ. And I'm like, it's OJ.
Yeah, but it's
condolences to her family.
He's not just a murderer. He's also a neighbor.
Part of him, yeah.
He's a cat. He's a multifaceted entertainer, right?
Yeah.
He's an actor. He's a football player. He's a murderer. He's not necessarily in that order.
I was gonna say, what does the murderer come first, and then he's all the rest of the stuff, or is it just a comma? Like he's OJ, the Juice
adjectives.
murderer.
He's a funny cat owner neighbor murderer.
I went down the rabbit
I think I
hole.
put murderer first because then it sounds like he's a cat murderer, and then people would be really upset with
owning
him.
funny. I don't know how to do it.
I went down the Wikipedia rabbit hole of maximum security prisons over the break because I've been watching this show called Mayor of East. What was that? Kate
Mayor
Winslet?
of Kingston.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah.
It's Jeremy Renner.
There's Mayor, M-A-R-E, Mayor of Easttown, and
Kate Winslet, Mayor of Kingstown.
That's
right.
You murdered my
Murder. Yeah. We just call it Mayor of Mayortown because we can't remember what it's called. But it's about this fictional town in Michigan where this guy basically is a go-between between the prisons and the people, whatever. If you're not watching it, who cares? But I recommend you watch it because it's very bleak, but it's really well written and acted in the whole thing. Nevertheless, so I go down this rabbit hole of maximum security prisons and who's in them, right? Pelican Bay and Conrad and all these. So the Supermax, I think what got me going was because they were transferring Ted Kaczynski to a medical facility because he's sick. Ted Kaczynski, of course, is the Poundcake.
I didn't say it. He wasn't listening anyway.
Making a murder?
Ted Kaczynski. Poundcake was a baby when this happened. In his slight defense, who is Ted Kaczynski? You remember the name Ted Kaczynski?
No,
Not at all.
I keep thinking the guy of A Silent Place. Who's that?
What's A Silent Place?
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
You mean A Quiet Place? This dude's all over the place. Holy, A Silent Place.
I hate that I
No,
know
John
it.
Krasinski.
You're starting to learn pound cake.
Yeah, he is.
Starting to speak pound cake.
No, Ted Kaczynski is the Unabomber. His brother turned him in.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
He was a guy, okay, Ted Kaczynski. Anyway, he's been in prison for 25 years now, I think, and he's getting up there and he's sick. And anyway, so I see this story in the news and I start going down this rabbit hole. I'm already going way off the reservation here, but when we were talking about OJ, where do you put the murderer part? I did come across a guy who had taken part in a prison riot at Pelican Bay. One of these guys who was a group of people and ended up being killed or whatever. And on Wikipedia, it would tell you who these notable prisoners were, what they did. Notable. You know, this guy, well, yeah, I mean, some people are killing, famous people. Yeah. They're in there for killing, other people are like, there's a B&E gone wrong, whatever. This one guy, his description was literally murderer and painter. And I was like, okay, well, so he doesn't have enough going for him to get a full-on Wikipedia page. It just listed him, because all the other guys were like listed as, this guy murdered a Black Panther back in the day. And, he's in for life for this. And this one guy, murderer and painter.
House painter or artist painter?
Don't know. I assume the painter part came from his prison years.
Is that slang?
What?
Is that like slang for something? Oh, he's a painter. Like, is that a gang?
It can be.
Or...
It's sometimes painter is code.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get in there because you make everything bloody.
Yeah.
Call the painter. No,
maybe.
I think this guy was probably some kind of artist.
He taught art class in prison.
Maybe that's
watercolors?
how he rehabilitated himself. That was what he's living for once he's in there. Yeah, doing watercolors or some oils.
But if you're that guy, you would prefer to be referred to as painter and murderer.
Painting murderer.
Well, obviously you're not...
Murder painter.
Yeah, but you got to put murder first because the reason you're on the website is from the murder.
That's right. You're not in there for being a painter.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't paint someone to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. You murdered someone to death.
Painting
How
to
long
death.
that would take you just sitting there? Come on.
Your skin needs to breathe. It happened in Goldfinger. But I mean, so...
I thought that was a myth.
I think if you paint... No, I think you'll kill someone if you cover all of their skin in paint.
That's so much paint.
Well, it's
got to be like latex.
Yeah, it's got to be like paint where your skin cannot breathe. But to the point of nobody saying a bad thing about Betty White.
How come we can go underwater all the...
What?
Wait a minute.
Because water doesn't seal your skin.
Seeps and seals.
Listen to me.
The next documentary.
Seeps and seals. The point is, nobody had a bad thing to say about Betty White, but no one famous can die and be and emerge unscathed from conspiracy nuts. So what happened with Betty White was her agent had to come out and go, no, she didn't get the booster and then die because that was the conspiracy. Betty White just got the booster and died 40 hours.
She's 99.
99 years old.
Honey.
What's
Right.
easier to believe? Right. She had enemies. So yeah, the agent had to come out and go, no, she did not get the booster. She died of natural causes in her bed.
I wonder what would qualify though as a Betty White scandal, because she was born, I'm guessing in 1922.
1922, yeah.
So nothing racist. She never said anything racist to a colored man.
No,
she was the opposite.
She very famously had her own talk show in the 40s, the Betty White Show, where she had this singer-dancer type, this black guy, and the network wanted nothing to do with it, and she said, you better deal with it, because this guy's going to be on the show. Now, the show got canceled shortly thereafter, and because she was one of those people, obviously, that made the transition from radio to TV. But she had her own show. I mean, if you only know Betty White from, like, Golden Girls up till now, she's had an unbelievable career.
A 35, 40-year career.
Yes.
She had another 40 years before that. 80 years.
She'd been married 3 times. And Alan Ludden was, I think he hosted a show called Password. That's the guy that she had been married to last. But he's been dead for 40 years. So she's been a single woman for 40 years.
Oh, you think she's laying it down?
Betty White? She's absolutely laying down now.
Not now.
Oh.
I mean, like, you think she was out there cooging it up?
No, I don't think so. No, there was never any...
Back blown out?
No, literally, you blew my back out now.
You broke my hip.
No, her first husband she was married to for a year in the 40s. Then she married, and then she married a guy for 2 years in the 40s. And then she married Alan Ludden in 63, and he died in 81.
She got divorced for like $39 back then.
There were no assets to split.
It was so cheap. Like,
but
she wasn't even the same thing.
She was very famously progressive, what would be considered progressive, I guess, for that time. But, yeah, so, you know.
There was that one person that tweeted after John Madden passed away, like, yeah, John Madden passed away, but imagine how many people got concussions because of him turning sports into a video game.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and
you're always going to have somebody talking crap on,
Crazy.
Everybody's like, what a dumb take.
Right.
Like, nope. It's not like nobody knew what football was.
Right.
And they're like, well, now I want to play
But that's
football.
also somebody who's clearly like trying to rile people up, too. I mean, it's a ridiculous take, and that's why you put it out there. So, Betty White. How the hell did we get on Betty White? How did we get on Betty White?
OJ.
OJ, right. The OJ.
Prisons, OJ.
Right, OJ.
Nobody had anything bad to say.
Kept losing his cats.
Yeah, is this murder a comma or not?
Oh, he's coming over here. She says, well, I'm so sweet. Cats like me. I guess she was right. In any event, my condolences to her family. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how O.J. Simpson will be eulogized, because, if you've done if you've done some things that people don't like, you can make the guy with the John Madden take, that's a real stretch, right? John Madden wasn't coding to make a video game. He just licensed his name to it, whatever. But O.J. killed 2 people. So there's no way around that. Huh?
Allegedly.
You're right. Allegedly, he killed 2 people.
Not even allegedly. He was found innocent.
Yeah, that's right. He was found innocent in a court of law.
You don't believe in the U.S. justice system?
I do believe in the U.S. justice system, just not when it comes to famous people.
You didn't have a
or
conversation
rich people
with Jude Ishelbranch? You guys don't get along?
Jude Ishelbranch and I go way back. Mr. Ishelbranch, if you and I could have... By the way, speaking of movies, because we were laid up over the... Not laid up, I didn't feel anything, but we were... COVID over the holiday, where we watched Don't Look Up.
I loved that movie.
I hated it.
Really? I loved it too.
It
I thought it was
sucked.
great.
Why do you think that it sucked?
First of all, I don't understand why everybody's calling it a climate change movie.
It was about COVID.
It's it's an asteroid movie.
Right, but
it's Armageddon with
talking
fewer
about.
laughs. It's, first of all, 2.5 hours of this
I
thing.
really enjoyed it.
Ariana Grande shows up. I'm like, what is going on here?
They're just throwing people in there to get people to watch.
Oh my! They spent $80 million on this movie.
The blatant parallels between what happened with COVID, and that was the point of what they were saying with the movie.
I don't care about the parallels. It wasn't funny. I didn't laugh one.
It wasn't a comedy.
Yes, it was an Adam McKay movie.
That doesn't mean it has to be a comedy.
You
It's a
don't tell him that, because
satirical-
he said, yeah, satire is comedy.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be laugh out loud satire. It can just
Understood.
be a commentary.
Give me some. I don't need a commentary.
I really
if you're
enjoyed
telling
it.
me,
I thought it was funny,
if
and
you're
I
telling
thought-
me it's a comedy, which they very much were, this is a comedy, satirical comedy, whatever, blah blah blah. Man, did it suck.
Can we have say some prayers for Stuff? I really like Stuff. Jonah Hill, like that's hilarious.
I guess I'm tired of seeing Jonah Hill.
I'm tired of seeing him. There's a lot of watches and clothes and stuff that I really enjoy. I want to say some prayers for those things.
I guess part of it is it's so hard to satirize now.
Is it? I thought they did a great job.
Because real life is so frigging absurd all the time now.
I loved that. I think that they captured it perfectly in the way that they were like, 23% of people don't even believe that the comet is real, which is a number that's up.
But it's real life. It's not a documentary. It was a comedy. I just thought they really missed the mark on this.
Oh, really?
I was looking forward to it. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was funny.
It was way too long.
I watched it once, and then I started watching it again last night because I really enjoyed that. So
I liked it a lot.
I thought the casting was dynamite. I'm tired of seeing Jonah Hill play the same guy in every comedy.
That's what he's going to do.
Put him in dramas. I like him in dramas. Stinks and everything else. But man.
But he wasn't. He was great in
I
this.
thought he was pretty funny
He was like the best.
Yeah, he was Jonah Hill in every other movie. Jonah Hill plays that guy in every comedy. He's like, hey, man. That's why you get Jonah Hill, because you're like, this is what this guy is going to be. A thinly veiled Don Jr. or whatever he was supposed to be.
Good in that role.
Sure. That's why you get him to do it. I just don't like that character. Because I don't like that character.
I hate that character.
I don't like Jack Black. You know what I mean? It's
Jonah Hill's Alan's Jack Black when he's in comedies.
Yeah.
No, I just don't find him funny. And I like him. Wolf of Wall Street, Moneyball, Dynamite. I think
he's hilarious in Wolf of Wall Street.
He's got fake teeth and he's fat and he's got glasses. I mean, it's a wig sketch. I mean, like when he's in a comedy,
but
I don't like him.
But the character that he plays in that movie, even with the teeth, but whatever,
he's the comic relief.
The whole that movie's also a comedy.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, you could make a case for that. But Don't Look Up was very specifically a comedy. And so we had kind of been sitting on it, and all these people were hitting me up. They're like, what'd you think? I'm like, I haven't watched it yet. And so one night we were like, okay, we're home for the next 10 days. Let's watch Don't Look Up.
I loved it.
We started it.
Yeah, Meryl Streep knocked it out of the park. I felt like it was. I feel like it was really, really well done.
I assume that wasn't her ass at the end, by the way, when she's walking away. And
they
got some
Meryl
jiggly
Streep.
ass actress with like a tramp stamp on there. It's supposed to be Meryl Streep. I was like, God, if that's her, that would be the best thing about that movie. If she did full backle nudity, that would have been dynamite.
I loved the parallels to what's going on. I think that it maybe would have been better served to come out in a year or two.
I absolutely get what they were trying to do, but holy hell, there was too much of it.
Your issue is just that it wasn't funny enough.
Well, that's subjective.
You.
I know I didn't. Well, yeah, to anyone. Yeah, it's subjective. I can't tell somebody that something's not funny.
No, I'm saying your issue with the movie was that you went in thinking it was going to be a laugh out loud comedy and you didn't laugh.
That's how they build it.
I didn't think that was built like that.
Everything I've read from Adam McKay was to that effect.
I was gonna say the trailers weren't like wait to come and yuck it up. It was like, hey, this is kind of a heavy thing that has some funny parts.
Yeah.
That's the way I went into it.
It's like a dark comedy with some weird like.
And I love dark comedy. I didn't laugh one time, not once. I didn't even chuckle.
I laughed a lot.
Yeah, I liked it.
I think you also do yourself a disservice when you read too much about a thing before you watch it.
No, because there's some things I don't read anything on, and I still don't like them, or I do like them, or
well, in this case, where you read all the stuff that Adam McKay said, and then go, well,
of course he's going to be.
He's the director of the movie,
right? But I didn't read anything that he said. I don't.
No, but I don't think that would have. What I'm saying is, if you had, I don't think it would have changed your opinion of the movie.
Probably
you
not.
still would have liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
I mean, no director is going to go, yeah, this movie sucks. I mean, he's going to be a cheerleader for it, obviously.
Right.
And I like some of the stuff he does. I was just like, man, it's really hard to satirize this time in the world. Because, I mean, like, it's just really hard to do that properly.
And I fully disagree that I think that they did it properly.
I think so, too.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. My boyfriend and I stayed up late. We started at like 11 and watched
I was going to say,
can
anyone, does anyone agree that it was way
too long? I'll agree with
2
that.
hours
Definitely.
and 23
that was
minutes.
Too long.
Holy cow.
I will definitely give you that because we started.
Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi, I'm like, they did not need any of this.
But I also feel like every part of it, like the only part that they probably could have shortened was the campaigns. Like I felt like there was a lot of lead up. I don't even know actually. Now that I'm like saying that, it was pretty long, but they might have been able to cut out 15 minutes, I would say, of unnecessary stuff.
I don't mind it being long because
I don't mind being long too if I like it and enjoy it, and it could be 3 hours if I enjoy it. I did not like it, boy. And maybe I'm in the minority because I see all these people. It was brilliant. I'm
Well,
like,
from
wow,
what I've seen,
really?
it's been one or the other.
Yeah.
People either love it or hate it.
They're like, this is going to be Netflix's first Oscar. Like, pardon me?
I really liked it.
Star power alone does not make a movie great. The cast is good. DiCaprio and Chalamet, all these.
Yeah.
It was. I get what they were trying to do. Man, it did not hit with me at all. Gwen and I both were like, what is going on here? I'm not even like chuckling at this movie.
You guys had been in the house too long.
No, this is like
in the right mindset.
this is like a few days in. You know,
You should have watched more
I
animal.
still haven't watched
documentaries first.
Neil and the Matrix though.
Oh, the new Neil?
Yeah.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't watched it yet. All right, I got a break here. I'll have those Bill Burr tickets for you if you want to get to that show. He's doing the Romo Fijo in the spring, April 23rd.